Well, I said I'd answer questions. I'm going to start with ones that were on the page attached to the video, because everybody knows about them. Timu Joe asked, as a history buff, what period of history, culture fascinates you the most? I'd have to say right now, the end of the Dark Ages going into the Middle Ages up through the Christian Reformation. There was a lot of interesting things that went on during that time. And that research there also, believe it or not, gives me insight to the current things going on in Islam. Believe it or not, history repeats itself. There are patterns there if you look. So, I've made the statement before that Islam is roughly the same age emotionally, or perhaps I should say, Islam is currently as evolved a religion as Christianity was in the 14 and 1500s. So, that's why I make that one. Gordy Curdy, I hope I pronounced that right. What are my favorite movies? I like all movies. I'm more into the stuff that's coming out now, you're talking mostly it's special effects fests. And they really suck. There's not a lot of storyline in it. It's like, oh, let's look at the next cool effect. Some of the ones that I really like are An American President with Michael Douglas and Annette Bening. Crossroads, Ralph Macchio and some old guy playing guitars. I have a clip of that saved in my favorites. The Quiet Man, John Wayne. Love John Wayne picks. McClintock with John Wayne. Here's another good one, too. Asphalt Jungle. Like film noir. Anything with Eddie G. Robinson, Jimmy Cagney, Pat O'Brien. I like the older movie stars from back in the day. So, how's that suit you? Big Takeover asked, banana split for two or bucket of rum? Banana split for two. Hopefully with the other person to share it with. Exiled. Look online, Farmer's Gold Tobacco. They have a pretty tasty one, and you can also get it where it's organically grown, no additives. Let's see. British Hero Guy. Will I be starting a presidential exploration committee? No. I have no chance of getting elected. Please. JB324. He sees I have exclusive topics on my video seems to be about religion. What do I think about Buddhism? I don't do just religion. I do a lot of religion because it matters to me at this point in time in my life. But Buddhism, it's no better or worse than any other religion. It's another religion. Everybody has their little faith, myself included. And if it makes you happy, believe what you want to believe. Just don't try and force it down my throat. So that takes care of the ones that are there. Although Jerian invites me to come up to Canada. Okay, into email. Randy G884 asks, what do I do for a living? Well, currently nothing. I'm unemployed. I'm here in Bloomfield taking care of my mother while she recovers from knee replacement surgery. 21st of December, she had her left knee replaced. She's recovering from that, and once she's healthy enough again, She has to get her right knee replaced. I've followed the routine well enough now, and she's more ambulatory than she was before. So I'm going to be looking for a part-time job, probably in the blue-collar sector. I'm primarily a blue-collar worker, warehouses, forklifts, that kind of stuff. I'm real good with a forklift. At one point in my career, I stuffed containers to go overseas. Believe me, you learn how to be real good with a forklift. Okay. I did Temu Joe. Snow 3585 asks, where in Europe world did your family originate from? Germany, Ireland, German, Scot-Irish, and Cherokee. So part of my family came from the United States, well, America. The Scot-Irish. You've heard of the Hatfields and the McCoys? I'm related to the McCoys down in West Virginia. So I'm a mutt. Am I single? Yes, I'm divorced. No kids. She had 2 kids. Let's see. Do you think history repeats itself? Yeah, it does. Frequently. It's been seen again and again and again. What do I think will happen to America? Unless the U.S. learns the history of Rome, it will eventually collapse it on itself like Rome did. It's one of those inevitable things. Unless you learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. And how many empires have risen and gotten huge and then collapsed in on itself? The Chinese, the Huns, the Vikings, the Persians, the British Empire, Rome, great empires and all collapsed. So, do I think weed should be banned or legalized? Legalized. 100% legalize it. Legalize it, tax it. I think all drugs should be legalized. Take the money that you're wasting on interdiction and put it into education and treatment programs. Make positively draconian laws if you get into a car accident with somebody who's under the influence of one of those drugs and has an accident and hurts somebody. Draconian. Real simple. How tall am I? 5'7". Have I ever been abroad? I've been to Canada and Nova Scotia when I was a kid. Barnett, no place else. So that takes care of him. Devotions for You wants to know, what is my job? Well, I answered that. And what level of education and from where? Well, my education comes from Bullfield Senior High School. Yes, I'm a high school graduate. I never went to college beyond that because back in '78 when I got out, I knew I wouldn't do the work and be a waste of money. So I went into the workforce instead. And the jobs I've gotten have never been particularly stressing on my intelligence. Sometimes it's interesting, but for the most part, it's a nothing for me. So I have time to do my own studies. At one point, I had a library of 4,000 books, most of which I read. And they covered every topic. The only thing I didn't have were like bodice rippers and westerns in my books. So, there you go there. Micro99 asks, I was curious about your thoughts on U.S. alliances with other countries, in particular Australia. Well, that's where he lives. I think he's basically asking me what do I think of the Australian government and Aussies. Aussies in particular, I like them. I'm not so certain about your head guy down there going, who seems to be blindly supporting Bush, and I don't go for that. You're your own country. Do what you feel is right, but don't blindly follow. And if friends tell friends when they've screwed up, that's the way I view it. But I like Aussies. Someday I hope to get down there. Okay. Julian asked the same question, and Randy G8884 asks me again, what games do I play online? Well, I used to play Marcoland and some other little game, but I lost my internet connection. My account got deleted. So after playing that for a year, I stick with mostly free games now because I don't have money to spend on it. I don't play many games at the moment because I'm spending all my time on YouTube. So, nobody asked me about my politics. I keep being accused of being a Bush supporter, even though I have that nice big video up there saying impeach Bush now. Go figure, you know. Why pay attention to the obvious? I'm going to explain my politics. I like to think of myself as a moderate, although these days I'm becoming more of an anti-conservative. I can't think of one good thing conservatives have done for anybody. I really can't. Conservatives want to maintain the status quo. Conservatives want to go backwards in time. So, that's what all the radical fundamentalists are. Conservatives that want to turn back the clock. Doesn't work that way. And for those delusional people who think that the U.S., or I'm sorry, the founding fathers of America were conservatives, boy, are you dumb. Try looking at the history of the time, and you realize that these people were radicals. Extreme left wing. So, they weren't conservatives. I don't like conservatives. Conservatives take up an idea after the liberals are done with it. Well, probably more information than you wanted to know. Have an adequate day.